For centuries, Earth had been written off by the vast empires that spread their influence like a shadow over the stars. To the mighty Varkari Empire, which had conquered countless systems with ease, Earth was nothing more than a forgotten planet, a tiny blue speck lost in a sea of galaxies. They viewed it as a quiet backwater, a place with little value and even less power. The Varkari scouts passed through its orbit without pause, their ships scanning briefly before moving on, confident that no threat lurked beneath the planet's peaceful surface. Yet, beneath the oceans and mountains that had sheltered humanity, for millennia, a secret had been growing. A secret so vast and so carefully hidden that not even the Empire's most advanced sensors could detect it. Deep within a maze of underground tunnels and chambers, hidden in the depths of a massive asteroid field orbiting Earth's moon, lay humanity's greatest weapon, a colossal supercarrier unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. For generations, people had whispered stories of a time when Earth's might would rise again, but those tales were dismissed as legends. Still, a small but dedicated group of scientists, engineers, and soldiers worked tirelessly in secrecy. They combined old Earth technology, forgotten after centuries of peace, with alien knowledge scavenged from wrecks and ruins discovered on distant worlds. Slowly but surely, they built a ship so powerful, so advanced, that it could challenge entire fleets on its own. The supercarrier was not just a machine, it was a symbol of human spirit, resilience, and hope. Its hull was layered with materials that could withstand the harshest attacks, while its engines could outpace many ships thought faster in the galaxy. Within its core, artificial intelligence systems worked in harmony with human crews, prepared to adapt and learn during battle. Yet the supercarrier's greatest strength was not just in its size or firepower, but in the determination of those who built it, people who refused to accept that Earth would remain a forgotten world forever. Far above, the Varkari Empire continued to expand, their fleets growing larger and more confident with each new conquest. Their leaders spoke of Earth as a prize easily taken, a final jewel to add to their crown. They believed the humans were primitive, lacking the technology or will to resist, but as the Empire's fleet advanced toward Seoul, their arrogance blinded them to the silent threat lurking nearby. The asteroid field where the supercarrier was hidden was a chaotic cluster of rocks and debris, swirling in unpredictable orbits that confounded sensors and scanners. To the Empire's eyes, it was a natural hazard, an obstacle to be avoided. But for Earth's defenders, it was a fortress. The supercarrier rested within a cavernous hollow inside the largest asteroid, its massive silhouette blending with the shadows and jagged edges. This camouflage was the result of decades of careful planning and engineering. Every module, every weapon, every engine was designed not only for battle, but for concealment. Communication with the outside world was limited to secure channels, encrypted and carefully guarded. The people working inside the ship understood the risk they faced if discovered too early. Patience was their greatest weapon. As the days passed and the Varkari fleet drew closer, the tension on Earth grew. Governments united in cautious cooperation, preparing their defenses but placing their greatest faith in the supercarrier and its crew. Rumors and fears spread among the population. Would Earth fall like so many other worlds? Or would the hidden giant rise at last to defend its home? The supercarrier's captain, a seasoned leader named Commander Aaron Solis, walked the bridge with a steady gaze. She had trained for this moment her entire life, yet the weight of the responsibility was immense. Every decision she made could mean the difference between survival and destruction. Around her, officers monitored data streams, ready to spring into action. The crew moved with quiet determination, each aware of the role they played in this crucial moment. Commander Solis looked out at the asteroid field through the reinforced viewports, her thoughts racing. The silence was heavy, broken only by the soft hum of the ship's systems. They were waiting for the right moment, when the Empire's arrogance would give them the advantage. As the supercarrier's AI quietly ran simulations and prepared strategies, the ship itself seemed to hum with life, like a beast awakening after a long slumber. The galaxy beyond might have forgotten Earth, but Earth had not forgotten itself. Beneath the cold stars and swirling dust, a new chapter was about to begin, one that would challenge the Empire's power and rewrite the future of humanity. The Supercarrier was more than a weapon. It was a promise that Earth would stand tall in the face of the coming storm, and when the time came, the galaxy would witness the true strength hidden beneath the stars. The vast Varkari fleet, a seemingly endless wave of warships and battlecruisers, approached the Sol system with an air of unshakable confidence. These ships, honed through centuries of conquest, carried the full weight of an empire that had crushed countless worlds beneath its might. Their commander spoke of Earth with barely concealed disdain, convinced that this quiet, blue planet would fall easily to their superior technology and overwhelming numbers. The Varkari sought to claim Earth's abundant resources, to bend its people into submission, and add yet another jewel to their vast cosmic empire. Meanwhile, across the globe, Earth's defenders scrambled to prepare for the invasion. Communications crackled with urgency as the leaders of Earth's military forces coordinated a desperate defense. But the reality was harsh. Earth's technology, while innovative in its own right, was no match for the heavily armed and experienced Varkari armada. Weapons systems that had protected Earth for generations now seemed fragile under the shadow of the Empire's advanced warships. Morale dipped dangerously low as the people watched the alien fleet grow larger on the horizon. Fear and doubt whispered in every city, every village, threatening to erode the unity that held humanity together. Yet beneath this tide of uncertainty, in the deepest shadows beyond Earth's atmosphere, a different story was unfolding. Hidden away in the jagged embrace of the asteroid field, the colossal Supercarrier stirred from its long silence. Cloaked by layers of advanced stealth technology, it had remained invisible to the Empire's scanners, a ghost waiting to rise. As the Varkari fleet closed in, the Supercarrier's engines powered up with a quiet intensity, vibrating with raw energy held back for this very moment. Commander Aaron Solis stood on the bridge, her eyes steady but alert as the ship slipped out of the asteroid's shadow and into open space. The sudden appearance of this massive vessel caught the Varkari fleet by surprise. Their sensors, accustomed to scanning open space, were ill-prepared to detect something so large and so cleverly concealed until it was too late. The Supercarrier's presence shattered their assumptions. This was no mere backwater world. Humanity was ready to fight, and they had hidden their greatest weapon in plain sight. The bridge buzzed with activity as the Supercarrier's crew prepared for battle. Elite pilots, each trained to push their ships beyond limits, readied their fighters in launch bays while strategists analyzed the enemy's formation, searching for weak points. This was more than a defense. It was a declaration. Humanity would not bow quietly. As the Varkari vessels adjusted to the unexpected threat, Earth's pilots surged forward, launching swift, coordinated strikes designed to disrupt the invaders. Formation. Small squadrons darted like shadows among the massive warships, exploiting gaps in their defenses. The Supercarrier itself moved with surprising agility for its size, weaving through the battlefield while unleashing powerful volleys of energy that forced the Varkari to respond. Each strike told a story of human determination and innovation. The invaders had expected an easy conquest, but now they faced an enemy that refused to surrender, that met overwhelming force with strategy and courage. The battle became a clash of wills as the Empire struggled to maintain control, and Earth fought desperately to protect its home. Within the Supercarrier's command center, Commander Solis coordinated every move with precision. She knew the stakes were high. One wrong decision could mean disaster, but she also saw the fire in her crew's eyes. They believed in their mission. Through bursts of radio silence and encrypted messages, Earth's forces communicated flawlessly, adjusting their tactics as new information arrived. The Supercarrier's AI provided critical analysis, predicting enemy movements and suggesting countermeasures. Slowly but surely, the tide of the battle began to turn. The Varkari fleet, though still powerful, was shaken. Their formations fractured under relentless pressure, and their commanders grew wary of underestimating this newly revealed threat. The element of surprise had given humanity a crucial advantage, But the fight was far from over. As explosions lit the void and starships danced between destruction and survival, Earth's people watched anxiously from below, hearts pounding with hope and fear. The supercarrier's sudden emergence was a symbol, proof that even in the darkest moments humanity's spirit could rise, unexpected and unyielding. The Empire had come to claim a forgotten world, but instead, they had awakened a force they had never truly understood. And as the battle raged on, it became clear that this confrontation would reshape the destiny of all who lived among the stars. The battle that erupted in orbit around Earth was like nothing the galaxy had witnessed before, a breathtaking spectacle of light and sound, of raw power and sharp tactics. The vast Varkari fleet, confident in its sheer numbers and heavy weaponry, found itself challenged by something it had never truly expected: human ingenuity combined with technology both ancient and alien. The Supercarrier, a giant among the stars, unleashed its advanced weaponry with deadly precision. Its weapons were designed not just for destruction, but for adaptability, capable of shifting between long-range attacks and rapid, precise strikes. The barrage stunned the Varkari ships, many of which had been built to overwhelm with mass rather than finesse. Their commanders, used to seeing enemies crumble beneath their force, struggled to respond to the sudden and unexpected threat. Earth's pilots, small but highly skilled, darted through the chaos, their sleek fighters weaving between enemy fire with an almost dance-like grace. These pilots knew their home planet better than anyone, and they used that knowledge to their advantage. They coordinated attacks that exploited the weaknesses in the Varkari formation, striking hard, and then disappearing before counterattacks could be launched. The battle was not just fought with weapons, but with strategy, each side trying to outthink the other in the vastness of space. Earth's forces also had a unique edge that the Empire could not replicate: intimate knowledge of their environment. They used Earth's magnetic fields to disrupt enemy sensors and communications, creating zones where Varkari ships found it difficult to coordinate their attacks. The Supercarrier itself moved with an almost supernatural awareness of these invisible forces, using them to mask its movements and shield its vulnerable sections. The clash tested the limits of both sides. The Varkari warships unleashed everything they had, their plasma cannons and missile barrages lighting up the black void. Explosions ripped through space, sending debris scattering in all directions. Yet for every Varkari ship that was destroyed or forced to retreat, Earth's forces suffered losses too. Fighters were shot down, and the Supercarrier took hits that shook its massive frame. Despite the damage, humanity's resilience was clear. Commander Aaron Solis remained calm amidst the chaos, her voice steady as she coordinated defenses and counterattacks. She inspired her crew with a quiet strength, a belief that no matter the odds, Earth would not fall today. The battle became a test of endurance as much as skill. Hours passed like minutes as both sides pushed themselves to the edge. The Varkari fleet, once certain of a swift victory, began to waver as they faced relentless opposition. The humans' ability to adapt, to use every tool at their disposal, from technology to environment, started to tip the balance. Each time the Empire tried to regroup, Earth's forces struck again, exploiting new weaknesses discovered through careful observation and bold action. The Supercarrier's AI systems worked tirelessly, analyzing battle data and suggesting maneuvers that gave humanity an unexpected advantage. Behind every attack was a combination of human intuition and machine calculation, blending to form a strategy that the Empire could not easily counter. The clash was brutal and unforgiving, but it also revealed something deeper: the unbreakable spirit of humanity. Against overwhelming power, they fought not just to survive, but to protect everything they held dear. The battle's outcome was still uncertain, but one thing was clear: Earth had awakened from its long slumber, and it was no longer a silent, forgotten world. It was a force to be reckoned with, ready to stand tall among the stars and challenge the mightiest empires of the galaxy. As the fight raged on, the people watching from their homes felt a surge of hope. The Supercarrier was their shield, their sword, their symbol of resistance. And in the endless darkness of space, a new chapter for humanity was being written. one filled with courage, resilience, and the promise of victory. The battle continued to rage around Earth, but within the supercarrier itself, there was more happening than the firing of weapons and strategic maneuvers. Deep inside the ship's core lay secrets that the Varkari Empire could never have anticipated. Secrets that went far beyond its impressive arsenal. The supercarrier was built not only as a weapon of war, but also as a vault of ancient Earth knowledge, a hidden treasure trove preserved through centuries of conflict and peace. Scientists and engineers had painstakingly gathered information from lost archives, forgotten libraries, and alien artifacts collected during humanity's quiet expansion into nearby star systems. This knowledge had been carefully integrated into the ship's systems, allowing the supercarrier to think, learn, and adapt in ways no other vessel could. At the heart of this was a network of experimental artificial intelligence pilots, unlike any machines the galaxy had seen before. These AI were not fixed programs, but living systems capable of evolving during combat. They could analyze enemy tactics in real time, invent new strategies on the fly, and even learn from the mistakes and successes of human pilots. Together, the AI and human crews formed a unique partnership, each enhancing the other's strengths. As the battle wore on, these AI pilots shifted tactics with fluidity, confounding the Varkari fleet. They anticipated maneuvers before the enemy even made them, turning what seemed like chaos into a precise and deadly ballet of destruction. This gave Earth a tremendous advantage, forcing the Empire's commanders into a state of growing desperation. They began to realize that their arrogance had blinded them to the true power of this hidden supercarrier. Earth was not a simple prize, waiting to be claimed. It was a force shaped by centuries of ingenuity and determination. The commanders scrambled to adapt, sending reinforcements and changing attack patterns, but nothing seemed to stem the tide. Behind the scenes, the story of the supercarrier's origins began to emerge, adding layers of mystery and awe to the unfolding conflict. It was revealed that the ship's construction had roots in long-lost alliances forged during humanity's early encounters with other species. These alliances had been kept secret, buried beneath political shifts and the passage of time, but their legacy lived on within the supercarrier's very framework. The ship carried remnants of technologies and philosophies from civilizations that once walked among the stars alongside humans, sharing knowledge in an era when cooperation was seen as the key to survival. This spirit of unity and innovation was etched into every circuit and panel, giving the supercarrier a soul born of hope and resistance. As the battle intensified, glimpses of this history inspired the crew. They understood they were part of something far greater than a single fight. They were continuing a legacy of courage and brilliance that had been passed down through generations. Each command issued, each maneuver executed, was fueled by this knowledge and the unyielding will to protect their home. The Varkari forces, overwhelmed by the supercarrier's unexpected resilience, began to falter. Their formations broke apart, and their once unshakable confidence gave way to fear and uncertainty. The Empire's commanders, faced with a human foe more formidable than imagined, were forced to reconsider their approach. In the face of this evolving threat, the galaxy's balance of power shifted. Earth, once dismissed as a quiet backwater, had become a beacon of resistance, a symbol of what determination and intelligence could achieve even under the most daunting odds. The supercarrier was no longer just a ship. It was the heart of humanity's fight for survival and freedom, a living testament to a spirit that refused to be crushed. As the stars burned around them and the battle pushed forward into the unknown, the people of Earth and their allies inside the supercarrier held fast to the belief that this fight would mark the beginning of a new era, one where humanity's hidden strength could finally shine across the cosmos. The battle had finally reached a turning point, and the vast Varkari fleet, once a looming shadow over the Sol system, began to retreat. Their ships, battered and broken, slipped away into the blackness of space, no longer confident that Earth was an easy prize to claim. The defenders of Earth, though weary from the relentless fight, stood emboldened and united by the strength they had shown against the Empire's might. The supercarrier, once a secret hidden in the depths of an asteroid field, now shone like a beacon of hope and resilience for all humanity. It symbolized not just survival but a new beginning, a dawn where humanity's place in the galactic arena was no longer in question. People across the planet looked up at the stars with renewed confidence, their hearts lifted by the knowledge that their home was protected by a force greater than anyone had imagined. This victory, however, was only the start of a much larger journey. The war with the Varkari had revealed that Earth was no longer isolated or forgotten. The galaxy was vast, full of civilizations both friendly and hostile, and the challenges ahead would require more than just one planet's might. Recognizing this, Earth's leaders moved swiftly to open communication with neighboring star systems and civilizations that had long been watching the conflict unfold from afar. They reached out with messages of peace and cooperation, eager to forge alliances that would strengthen their position and prepare them for future threats. These new partnerships were built on respect and shared goals, a sign that humanity was ready to step into a larger role among the stars. The Supercarrier itself became a symbol of unity, carrying representatives and envoys from allied worlds aboard its massive decks. It was a floating city of hope, a meeting place where ideas and cultures blended, creating a powerful network of support that stretched beyond Earth's atmosphere. Inside the ship, Commander Aaron Solis stood on the bridge once more, her gaze fixed on the stars ahead. The battle had tested every skill, every resource, and every ounce of courage the crew possessed. But it had also revealed something deeper, a spirit of determination and innovation that would carry humanity forward. The Supercarrier was no longer just a weapon of defense. It was a vessel of exploration and diplomacy, a symbol of the future Earth intended to build among the stars. As the ship prepared to leave the Sol system, its powerful engines ignited, with a steady, controlled roar that echoed through the silence of space. The Supercarrier set its course beyond the familiar planets of the home system, heading toward the unknown regions where new allies and new challenges awaited. This journey was a declaration to the galaxy. Humanity was no longer hidden or afraid. They were ready to shape their destiny, to carve out a place where their voices could be heard and their rights respected. The stars that had once seemed distant and unreachable now felt closer than ever. For the first time in centuries, Earth was not just a quiet backwater, but a beacon of strength and hope shining across the cosmos. The story of the Supercarrier and the battle for Earth would be told for generations, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, courage, unity, and ingenuity could turn the tide and create a new dawn for humanity. As the ship disappeared into the vastness beyond Sol, the people left behind looked to the sky with hope and determination. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity's time had come, and the stars would never be the same again.